Alright, so when using rulers, we need to know how to read them. And so, here's an example of a typical ruler, a US system of measurements. If this is 1 inch here, this would be 1/2 inch, this would be 3/4 of an inch. Now, you'll notice that this actually says 8 and this says 16. This is referring down to the how fine of a measurement it gets. This goes, this was 1/4 of an inch, this 1/2, 1/4, this is 1/8 of an inch. So that 8 there is referring to what the span is on each of these individual gaps. So you can see on the other side of this, it has down to the 1/16 of an inch, and that's why the 16 is written right there. All right, so if I wanted to, for instance, figure out what the measurement on E was, well, this is 3/4 of an inch. Well, except it's a 1/16 of an inch more than 3/4 of an inch. So you could say, well, 3/4 of an inch is 9/16. It's not 9/16. What am I saying? It's 12/16. I just take 3/4 and multiply top and bottom by 4. And then we're going to be adding 1 because it's just 1/16 greater. So this is 13/16. That's what E would end up being at. F here is, well, 1.5 inch plus a 1/16 of an inch. So 1 1/2 plus a 1/16. So a 1/2 inch is 8/16, 1 8/16, and I'm going to go ahead and add that 1 on there. This is 1 9/16. This whole reading off the largest measurement that's nearby and then scooting over a little bit is really helpful when reading a ruler like this. The alternative is that you'd have to read over, okay, this is 1 inch, then we'd have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9/16. That's the alternative, and that can really become, I don't know, cumbersome and actually less accurate because you're more likely to make a mistake, especially if you're counting way over from, way over here. Let's see. Let's look at B. I don't know why I'm doing these. I guess I'm working from left to right, aren't I? This would be 2, and that's the whole number of inches. And then we have a 1/4 inch. Well, it's a little bit more than that. It's actually 3/8 of an inch over. 1 2 3. That's probably the easiest way to get the 2 and 3/8. Or if you just happen to know that 1/8 more than a 1/4 is 3/8. Or you can do the same thing I did over here. It just seems a little more effort in that case. C is a little bit bigger than 3 inches. It's actually 1/8 of an inch bigger than 3 inches, so we get 1 3/8. And D is an 1/8 inch bigger than 3.5 inches, because this is the 3.5 inch mark. So 3.5 plus an 1/8, that would be 3 4/8 plus an 1/8. In other words, 3 5/8. So that's what D is at. We can do the same thing for a lot of these other ones. I don't know that I need to go through this many examples. Yeah, it's a little tedious, but we could do the same thing for all of these. Metric, of course, is going to be a little bit easier because we don't have to worry about fractions. So this is measuring, it looks like this is 100, that's probably millimeters? No, I'm not sure exactly what that is. The scale, it's hard to get the scale of this. I don't know if this is supposed to be 1 centimeter to there, or is this 10 centimeters to there, and these are actually individually supposed to be centimeters. That might be what's going on. Yeah, more likely these are supposed to be millimeters. This is 1 centimeter. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what the scale is. That's the problem with resizing these images. I don't know what the original scale was or what's represented here.